In this tutorial module, we'll be covering how to manage NTFS file shares using JumpCloud. This is done by leveraging the JumpCloud agent, JumpCloud remote commands, as well as a custom batch file which is leveraged at user login. Let's begin. We'll first start with the configurations for Windows File Server. In this configuration, we've configured a Windows 2016 server serving up an additional drive labeled as X with subfolders for each of the departments in our test company under a share folder. We'll set up a JumpCloud bound and manage Windows 10 system to be able to have its users mount the drive and access the subfolders based upon their local group ability. Diving into the console, I've already onboarded two users for our test, Billy Mays and Carl Sagan. Billy is within the sales team and would need access to the sales subfolder under the X Drive share, and Carl is within the development and engineering group that would need access to the dev-eng subfolder within the share. In our systems, we can see that I've already installed the agents on both the file server, FS-SQL-01, as well as a Windows 10 system, BFE Win 10. Both Carl and Billy have been bound to these two systems for this demo example. In order for JumpCloud to help integrate with NTFS file shares, we bind the JumpCloud users both to their individual endpoints as well as the server presenting the file share. In order to get the permissions set up correctly on the file server, you'll need to create the local Windows user groups on the server as well as adding the users to their appropriate local user groups by running JumpCloud commands set for Windows PowerShell. This is shown within the example command I've written below. Once you've created your local groups and added the newly bound JumpCloud user accounts to these groups, configure the permissions for your file share as needed. Next, we need to use some of the JumpCloud commands to configure the auto mount feature with the file share for the users and their systems. To do this, we'll need to create a custom batch file which we'll deploy and execute on the remote end systems using JumpCloud commands. The contents of the batch file are outlined in the KB attached to this tutorial module. Taking a look at the example command, this deploys the payload of a batch file to the remote systems to C Windows temp, and then we remotely execute the batch file seen in the command body. I've applied this command to all of my Windows systems via the Systems Group tab. This way, any Windows system in my fleet will receive the batch file, which will allow auto-mounting of the file share using the JumpCloud user credentials. I'll go ahead and execute this on my Windows systems to ensure that the users receive this auto-mount capability upon login. Once we receive the successful update within the results list in the commands menu below, with an exit code of 0, we know that the batch file has been properly implemented. Taking a look at our Windows VM with Carl and Billy bound, we'll first log in with Carl's account to show that the drive is auto-mounted and the only permission he has is to the dev-eng folder within the file share. We can see that the drive is mounted as the G drive and that Carl only has explicit permissions to read, write, and execute within the dev-eng folder and no permissions to the sales folder. If we log out of Carl's account and log in as Billy, the opposite is true. That's it. This concludes the tutorial module over integrating your existing NTFS file shares with JumpCloud.